President Mohamed Morsi of Egypt was a democratically elected leader of Egypt. He was a member of the Muslim Brotherhood who sponsored his party, the Freedom and Justice Party. He and most of his cabinet were placed under house arrest in 2013 by Egypt's military to the great delight of the general public in Egypt at the time. Once Morsi was removed from power, the Muslim Brotherhood was declared a terrorist organization by the new leadership. The new president's spokesman, al-Musalaimani, declared there would be constitutional changes that would improve press freedom in the country. According to Egypt's new constitution, all individuals are guaranteed the freedom of thought and opinion. The constitution also defines the mediums in which people can express their thoughts. For example, people can express their thoughts through speech, writing imagery, or any other means of expression and publication. In recent years, journalists' right to freedom of press in Egypt has been curtailed. Egyptian authorities have applied pressure on media outlets to censor critical voices and issue gag orders on sensitive topics. A prominent example is the imprisonment of three Al Jazeera journalists. The three journalists, Mohammed Fahmy, Bahir Mohammed, and Peter Griest, have been accused of aiding the Muslim Brotherhood. All three were convicted on charges that included conspiring with the Muslim Brotherhood, spreading false news, and endangering national security. After a retrial, they were sentenced to 3 years in prison. The judge believed that the journalists were in fact not journalists because they were sentenced to 3 years in prison. Because they lacked the necessary credentials. He said that the journalists were not registered as members of the press and used unlicensed equipment to report false and harmful material about Egypt. He also supported the claim that they were fabricating false news about Egypt for Al Jazeera, a media outlet based in Qatar. Peter Griest was released on presidential pardon in February of this year. And finally, after a lot of media attention, Mohammed Fahmy and Bahir Mohammed were released from an Egyptian jail on September 23rd after a pardon by Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. This has been a long-standing problem in Egypt. According to the CPJ, journalists who get jailed in Egypt have often gone missing for periods of time, their whereabouts unknown to lawyers or family members. Sometimes trials, including Peter Griest's second trial after his release from prison, occur without the journalist even being present at the trial. They are not just local reporters either. These are international journalists. As we can see, there's a discrepancy between the government's promises and its actions. The government is currently not investing in the interest of its people. Instead, it's concentrating on its own agenda.